Life's what you make it. So let's make it rock, make it rock.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Johnny 2000. Did you miss me? Well, it's been less than 24 hours, so maybe we should work on our clinginess in our relationship. So here we focus on reliving the shows that shaped a generation of Disney Channel fans. I'm talking Wizards, I'm talking Hannah, and today, of course, we have another meaningful one. If you're a fan of the 2000s Disney show Hannah Montana, or just looking for a heavy dose of nostalgia, make sure to hit that subscribe button in the future. But today we're going to be picking up where we left off with episodes 11 through 20 of Hannah Montana Season 2. Wow, this is where things really start to get interesting.
But I wouldn't expect you to know anything about that since you are from Lily Tiny Brainia.
The concept for living a double life, being a regular teenager by day and a pop star by night, was pure fantasy for the viewers like us. But for Miley Stewart, it was her reality. And at the time when social media was starting to take off and privacy for celebrities was becoming a thing of the past, Miley's double life as Hannah was relatable to anybody feeling the pressures of being somebody they're not or balancing different parts of their life. The theme of dual identity resonates so deeply, especially now.
Hate makes you ugly. Oops, too late.
At that time, it offered young fans a behind-the-scenes look at what fame could be like with all the highs and lows, and it's not so different from being a normal kid. In our last video, we covered episodes 1 through 10, where Miley wrestled with her relationship with Jake, dealt with secrets and blackmail from Rico, and even navigated some deep questions about who she is and what she's willing to sacrifice for her double life. We also learned that Oliver has been neglected, and Lily and her tend to argue a lot. We saw episodes like Achy Jakey Heart, where she gets a taste of what it's like to be in a relationship while protecting her identity. The more Miley tries to live as a regular teenager, the more challenging it'll become. Now we're in episodes 11 through 20, the mid-section of Hannah Montana Season 2. In these episodes, we're going to see a lot more of Miley's friendship with Lily and Oliver, and how fame can complicate even the closest relationships. We see Hannah Montana dive deeper into what it means to balance fame and friendship. We've got more guest stars than ever before, specifically in this 10-episode chunk, in a way I can't even describe. So I'm going to call this Hannah Montana Season 2 the guest star era. Like, these episodes have one guest star every episode, whether Disney intended to or not. And I personally just think it was a stunt to get ratings, like Jesse McCartney and all that. I don't think that was the priority, but it definitely helped. So get ready, because it's time to explore the ups and downs of celebrity life in Hannah Montana Season 2. Okay, Sleepwalk This Way, based on Walk This Way by Aerosmith. So Robby Ray has written a new song for Hannah, and Miley's obviously eager to hear it, but Robby insists on only playing his new songs on a prized guitar, which, okay, a little bougie, Robby Ray. Some of us can afford that. Unfortunately, it's being cleaned and won't be ready until next week. So, impatient to wait, Miley actually sneaks a peek in her dad's jacket and discovers what she believes is the song, a ridiculously awful tune called Gangnam Style. No, I'm just kidding. Can you imagine if that was it? Nah, but seriously. So it's about bunnies stealing money, and Miley is horrified by the lyrics, but she can't bring herself to tell her dad, fearing that she'll have to hurt his feelings anyway.
Really?
What song?
You wrote a song? Who knew? Interesting. Easter. Easter Island. We're studying it at school. Big statues. Nobody knows how they got there.
So Miley's bottled-up honesty starts to affect her, causing her to sleepwalk and blurt out embarrassing truths. Oh my god, can you guys imagine?
Love the new look, toots. Awfully nibbles.
So during science class, she sleepwalks again, telling her least favorite teacher, Mrs. Kunkel, that she doesn't like her clothes and thinks she's ugly, which, Miley, we're not supposed to be truthful in school.
House tonight. Hey, Miley.
Just as Miley is about to accidentally reveal her secret identity, Lily and Oliver manage to wake her up. Despite this, Miley is sent to the principal's office anyway. Later, Robby overhears telling Jackson that the song is the worst he's ever written, leaving him feeling hurt. But in the end, Robby eventually reveals that the bunny song was actually something Miley wrote herself when she was 5. Oh, Miley, not cool. He kept it around to inspire him and give him a laugh during his creative slumps. His real song, Bigger Than Us, turns out to be a hit, which is weird because it's kind of one of the cheesier songs on the album. Not a fan. And Miley's worry over her hurting his feeling fades.
Loving it already.
You ain't even heard it, son.
Sure I have. In here.
And meanwhile, Jackson, who worried that Miley's honesty might cost him his party plans, is thrilled when Robby allows the party to happen. It's a success, but the house is actually left in chaos.
I just called the maid service.
Well, thanks, Dad. You know, that is one of the many reasons why you're still my hero, my role model, my... Just
Robby, in a twist, hires a maid service only for Jackson's phone to ring, revealing he's the one who will be cleaning up. Dude, but like he deserved that. That's normal. Like you were supposed to do that, Jackson. Come on. I can't get over the fact that Jason Earles is like 30 in this. He definitely can portray himself as an 18-year-old. Then we have When You Wish You Were a Star. This is the one that I was talking about, was in the Wish a Miss special on Disney Channel. So after performing a concert as Hannah Montana, Miley is visited by Jesse McCartney.
Listen, tonight I am the fan. You did a great job. And you are? Nice to meet you, Eep.
Who asks her out. An unfair power dynamic, Jesse. You can't just ask somebody out. She's thrilled, but she has to decline because a science project with her best friend Lily. So she has to decline due to a science project with her best friend Lily and her busy school schedule. Which, come on.
This double life is so hard.
Frustrated by balancing schoolwork and her Hannah Montana life, Lily and Miley see a shooting star and each make a wish. Lily for an A on their project, and Miley to be Hannah Montana full-time. Jeez, Lily, you didn't want anything else? Like, anything? Miley wakes up to discover that her wish has come true. She's now permanently Hannah Montana, and her wig transformed into her real hair, which could definitely be the perfect ad for a hair salon. An angel resembling her bodyguard, Roxy, who's awesome, appears, explaining that Miley's wish is now a reality.
The twinkly lights, the leather couches, and look at that awesome chandelier. Madonna has one just like it. Not anymore.
Initially, Miley loves her new life, complete with luxury, fame, and freedom to date Jesse McCartney. However, the angel shows her how her family and friends have been affected by her permanent superstar status, and she reveals things aren't as great as they seem.
Sorta dealing with something right now, so.
You're so cute when you're dealing with something right now.
Her initial choice to be Hannah Montana was the right call, especially with Jackson leaving home, disliking her being Hannah Montana.
Oh, I got you!
And he's homeless. Jackson is literally homeless. Meanwhile, Oliver and Rico turned her fame into a money-making scheme, and Lily, no longer her friend, has become popular by associating with the shallow Amber and Ashley. Horrified by the changes, Miley decides she wants to be Miley again. Spoiler alert. That is such an obvious trope. She does a brunette wig and tries to reconnect with Lily, which is actually kind of depressing. Can you imagine leaving your identity behind and trying to turn into your older self? That's like me trying to put on a 6th grade wig and pretend I'm in 6th grade again. I don't want to relive that. Now popular and unrecognizable, Lily rejects Miley.
Does everybody know that you have a birthmark shaped like a poodle on your butt?
Realizing the impact of her wish, Miley sees her dad's new wife and realizes she's only there for his money, banning their family traditions. Desperate, Miley vents her frustrations at home, throwing a pillow at her Hannah memorabilia. She gets a really intimate conversation with Jackson on the roof, which is actually really sweet.
Just us. You don't have to do the voice.
What voice? Right, sometimes I forget.
And Miley laments the wish that she made. Jackson wishes he could see the world where Miley wasn't Hannah just as the shooting star appears. Miley calls the angel, pointing out that Jackson's wish should count.
Please?
Suddenly, as Miley pulls her hair, the wig slips off and she's Miley again. The angel reappears, congratulating her on finding the loophole. Miley returns to her regular life, grateful for her family, friends, and the best of both worlds. The episode concludes with Oliver, Rico, and Jesse rapping on the beach. Oh my god, you got him as a cameo, and you're having him rap on the beach.
Peace out!
This show is so sweet because the moment she has with Jackson is probably the most genuine moments in the entire series. Let's look at it for a second.
Ooh, didn't you hear me? I'm not staying.
But Jackson, you have to. I want at least some of my old life back.
Like, there's just something so deep about a brother and sister reconnecting, about the girl's identity issues. Like, that's a big, important thing. Oh, the next episode, we have trouble. I Want You to Want Me to Go to Florida. The original title is a reference to the Cheap Trick song, I Want You to Want Me, Season 2, Episode 13. So this is the infamous episode introducing Selena Gomez's character, Alex Russo. I mean, you know what I mean, Michaela.
Well, I think there's enough room in the music world for both of us, right, Michaela? Absolutely, positively.
Adorable.
The episode opens with Hannah Montana meeting her rival, Michaela, on The Real Deal talk show. Despite acting friendly on camera, Michaela is secretly envious of Hannah and becomes Miley's nemesis.
Your voice is stingy, your music is stupid, your outfits make me want to puke on them, but it looks like somebody already did. Okay.
Michaela's teasing only intensifies as they're both booked for the same Florida benefit concert, pushing Miley to give her best performance to prove her talent. But things get complicated when Miley's dad, Robby Ray, injures his back in Jackson's new workout machine.
Set it for my height and weight. Matter of fact, crank it up to Aunt Pearl. I'd like to see the rubber band toy that can handle Robby Ray!
And by the way, who let him buy that? Aren't you 18? And is reluctant to let her go to Florida alone. Concerned for her safety, Robby insists she's too young to travel by herself, which is so freaking fair. Can you imagine a 16-year-old going across the country? Despite Miley's assurances that Roxy, her bodyguard, will be with her, she still isn't allowed to go. Which, that would make you a terrible father, Robby, if you let your 16-year-old daughter go on a plane, which I really hope you didn't do in real life. I know your relationship's strained, but please, I hope you're a good dad.
Does this mean I'm your favorite kid now? I'll take that as a yes.
Their argument escalates, leaving Miley frustrated and determined to prove that she still can do it. Feeling taunted by Michaela's call mocking her canceled concert performance, Miley does not want to give up. She leaves a note for Robby Ray saying that she's going to Florida with Roxy, even if it means facing the consequences. Dang, Miley's running away from home. This is insane, this episode.
Come on, fly boy, I can walk to Florida quicker than this. Come on!
Sweetheart, could you keep it down? Someone just complained.
Who?
Me. Now zip it.
She boards the plane, but just before takeoff, Robby and Jackson board the plane as well.
Hey, this bathroom's occupied.
Unfortunately, the plane doors close, and once they get Hannah, they actually can't get off until they're in Denver. Obviously, Billy Ray is pretty peeved off, which, oh my god, if I accidentally got my parents on a flight to Denver, can you imagine? That would be the most torturous plane ride of my life. That would be my personal, you know. During the flight, Robby and Jackson have a heart-to-heart, and Jackson helping Robby realize that his strictness may have pushed Miley too far. Aw, Jackson actually has a really sweet moment.
Oh yeah, I can be deep.
Meanwhile, Roxy assures Miley that Robby's overprotectiveness comes from his deep love from her. In a touching moment, Robby shows her the new song, Ready, Set, Don't Go, which we don't really hear outside of this. Expressing his struggle to let Miley grow up, he finally agrees to let her go to Florida.
Oh no, shrimp and cookies bag combo!
It's okay.
Miley performs in Florida successfully, blowing Michaela off the stage, though the concert itself is left off screen. Instead of punishment, Robby calls Miley after the concert, congratulating her, and then humorously ending their call with, "You blew Michaela off the stage." Meanwhile, Jackson's workout machine becomes a comedic side plot throughout the whole episode. Rico tries it out. Whoa! This episode was the first appearance of Michaela and her manager, which are super funny, ongoing characters, and then we got to see If Cupid Had a Heart, which honestly should have been on the Hannah Montana 2 album, but it's just cute just to see. It's actually sung by Julie Griffin, not even Selena Gomez, which, did you know that? Because I didn't until I said that. Oof. Now this episode got lost to time. Everybody was best friend fighting. Season 2, episode 14. The title is a reference to the song Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas, which includes the line, "Everybody was Kung Fu fighting," which I love that song, guys. Give it a listen. This is gonna be, what if this was on the Hannah Montana 2 album? No, that would be cool. That would be too cool. I love an Oliver episode, and in this episode, Oliver feels left out because he's never invited backstage to any Hannah Montana concerts, prompting Miley to invite him backstage for the next show. However, Lily is not thrilled about sharing her special privileges with Oliver and feels jealous.
I know this is kind of our special thing. You might be kind of jealous. But
Jealous? I am not.
Miley's attempt to include both of them actually backfires further when she has to choose between Lily and Oliver to join her at the celebrity tennis tournament. She's invited to play with a handsome guy named Guillermo Montoya, charming tennis star, but has only one extra ticket, sparking a fierce rivalry between Lily and Oliver.
Real subtle. Buttering her up with cake with hearts. Pathetic. Hey, Miley, I made you a shirt.
To solve the problem, Miley gets an extra ticket from Rico. allowing both friends to attend the tournament. However, the plan to keep the peace fails as Lily and Oliver actually bicker constantly during the game.
Hello? Switch seats with me.
You're pathetic.
Switch seats with me. Switch seats with me. Switch seats with me.
In the chaotic turn of events, Oliver's hand gets stuck in a woman's hair. This is the rudest thing I've ever seen. Can you imagine two teenagers at a tennis tournament just arguing and then sticking their hands in your hair? Ugh, and then it ends up in Miley's face, blocking her vision just as she's about to make a crucial move. And this guy's a jerk. Hannah, you should honestly purposely lose because Guillermo Montoya is a real jerk. He only cares about winning.
Cost me this match. I will go home tonight, dress up like you, and hit myself in the face.
You have got some serious issues, my friend.
You don't need that. In the He Could Be the One special, this guy will not be in it. Can you imagine though? After realizing the mess they've caused, Lily and Oliver apologize to each other and agree to stop fighting. Miley's still trapped in the net, and she playfully tells them to focus on getting her out. Meanwhile, in the subplot, Jackson hires a psychic, played by Dancing with the Stars dancer Karina Smirnoff, to convince Rico he's been cursed.
Until you learn to be nice, you are cursed.
For being mean, and he must be nice to break it. Leads to hilarious moments of Rico trying to do this. Eventually, we find out that Jackson did this all along, and these guys have no lives outside of hunting each other.
Somehow we found out, now he's trying to get back at me. Stop!
Oh, Jackson.
All right, who told you?
Actually, you did, just now.
And can I just say, Oliver deserves this. I feel like rightfully so, as a boy growing up with female friends, it sucks to feel left out. And I feel like I definitely empathize with him in this episode. I think he's being a little bit of a baby on purpose, but I don't know, I'm not gonna judge him. I definitely feel like I would have done the same. The birth of Mike Stanley happens in this episode where...
What is that beard made of anyway? Armpit hair?
You said nobody could tell.
Oliver friggin' the only name he could come up with.
Mike, stand. Mike, stand. Lee.
And I'm over it. That's like way worse than Lily's. Now, in Song Sung Bad, Lily decides to record a song as a heartfelt gift for her mom's birthday. The song is a reference to Neil Diamond's Song Sung Blue.
To really make this special, you're gonna have to record the song. But I don't have a voice like yours. You'll be surprised what you can sound like in a professional studio.
I haven't felt this queasy since my grandpa dragged me into that shirts and skins b-ball game at the senior center.
Unfortunately, Lily is a terrible singer, but Miley, wanting to help her best friend, secretly edits the recording to make it sound beautiful.
Daddy called it Extreme Mixover. Lily edition.
When Lily hears the edited version, she's thrilled and believes she has an amazing singing voice. Feeling bold, she decides to sign up to compete against her rival Amber in the school's karaoke night. This is like a common trope in Hannah Montana where one of the girls is pressuring each other to act a certain way, and it's always Miley toward Lily. Like, there was the episode where she liked Lucas and made her change to a skater girl. Then there's the episode where Lily told her not to be embarrassed of wearing glasses, but then she got the zit.
I mean, there's always room for improvement.
Miley is not a good friend at this point. When Miley realizes Lily's in over her head, she confesses the truth and shows Lily the unedited version of the song.
What did you do to my voice?
On this CD, nothing.
Ouch! Can you imagine? Rather than drop out, the two come up with a plan. Lily will lip sync and Miley will sing from backstage to make it sound flawless. Wow, never seen this done on TV before. Not on Drake and Josh. Meanwhile, in the subplot, Jackson deals with Sarah, a friend of Miley and Lily's, who mistakenly thinks he has a crush on her. Yeah, she was in the first season having a relationship with Oliver and the Flower Baby, and I guess she was too much of a heartthrob to stay in that season, so she's back, and now she's bugging Jackson. But the two have really good chemistry together, like, it's fun to watch them. So this was overall a really fun episode.
Who could possibly follow Amber?
Ooh, I believe the gauntlet has been thrown down!
During the performance, however, Miley accidentally releases a spider that crawls up her arm, causing her to scream and throw off the performance.
What I said, you heard. Now I got you spinning.
Despite the mishap, Miley and Lily actually laugh it off, and Lily learns to embrace her limitations. Which, what about you, Miley? Miley needs to learn to be nice to people. Jesus, you're the one that needs growth, not Lily. What, she's just supposed to get over the fact she's a bad singer? I mean, just I don't know. The recording Lily gives her mom features Emily Osment's actual singing voice, even though her character Lily can't sing. Emily Osment definitely can. Do you guys remember that song, I Don't Think About It? And apparently Miley has a real life fear of spiders, which is humorously incorporated into the episode. I wish I was there in the writing room for that. The next episode is Me, Mr. Jonas, and Mr. Jonas, and Mr. Jonas. The episode is a play on the title Me and Mrs. Jones by Billy Paul. This is actually one of the highest viewed episodes of the entire series, and I just had to mention that because, of course, the Jonas Brothers. Like, I forgot about this until I remembered the promos when it was coming out. This aired exactly after High School Musical 2 and right before Phineas and Ferb aired for the first time.
Hannah Montana.
So in this episode, Miley and her dad, Robby Ray, prepare to record new songs. Miley's eager to get to the big shoe sale with Lily. Plans take a surprising turn when they encounter Nick, Joe, and Kevin Jonas? Excited to meet them, Miley's enthusiasm fades when the Jonas Brothers recognize Robby as the legendary songwriter Robby Ray.
I know! Nobody's perfect is genius. I like the cute romantic one.
They ask him to write a song for them, and despite Miley's reluctance, Robby agrees. Let's take a minute to notice this. So, in Wish Gonna Miss, it's confirmed that they're all in the same universe, and That's a Sweet Life of Hannah Montana gives me the impression that all of the Disney shows are technically in their own universe. Although, if that is the case, then how come they're not connected to the show Jonas? If it was connected to the show Jonas, then the boys should be already really famous singers, but since they're playing themselves, why is Hannah addressing them? Or, because this is just so confusing. I don't know how these universe things work with channels. Do the showrunners talk to each other? Do they hide stuff? Or does the network get them together and ask them to come up with something? I don't know. I just can't imagine what goes on. But they can't not address it.
You said you were working.
Well, it turns out I was. Listen to this. Anywhere we go, anywhere we are, everybody know.
They ask Robby Ray to write a song for him, and Miley is a little bit jealous of the attention, and then Robby actually agrees. Meanwhile, Jackson attempts to break the pogo jumping world record for $5,000. Geez, are you guys running out of ideas? It's the second season. I don't know how this has to do with his character. After hours of jumping, he desperately needs to use the bathroom and negotiates with Rico to help him for half the prize money. Unbeknownst to him, he broke the record hours earlier. Rico just tortured him. Dang, Rico, that's cold. But also a great negotiation. How did he learn how to be a businessman? Feeling left out and jealous of the bromance, Miley tries to act more guyish to win back her dad's attention, and her attempts only seem immature, and Robby gets a little peeved. Lily and Miley end up dressing up as Milo and Otis, a pretend boy band, to try to convince the Jonas Brothers that Robby stole their song.
We got the party with it!
That's our song. Isn't it? I liked it.
And making his dad look bad, which, oh my god, couldn't that ruin his entire reputation in the music industry?
You? I shared my nachos with that guy. I don't even want to see this guy again. I'm out.
Robby catches up on Miley's scheme and realizes that she's feeling neglected. Miley apologizes to the Jonas Brothers, explaining that her prank was just a joke, and they believe it because they're dumb. So I guess this is connecting to the Jonas show. Miley opens up to Robby about her jealousy and fear that she'd lose time with him. He reassures her he'll always love her and love writing songs with her together.
Otis.
The episode concludes with the performance of We Got the Party by Hannah Montana, and the Jonas Brothers start recording in it with them. And it ends on the beach in a fun little music video, and Robby accidentally fires marshmallow guns at a choir, and then finds himself targeted by the Jonas Brothers marshmallow attack.
And we always keep our promises.
Duck and cover, Daddy. It's the return of the Jonai.
It's a cute episode because we have another Miley and Dad episode, like the I Want to Go to Florida one is a really good precursor to this one. I like that we're having a lot more time with Miley and her dad, and it seems like a lot of the themes that worked in season 1 are really working again this time, but since the characters are getting to know each other so well, there's a lot more depth to their emotions. And I can't imagine how the actors are feeling in these moments. Like, I wonder how their personal lives coincide with the emotions of their characters, because it is really sweet to see Miley and Billy Ray authentically reaching out to each other as an actual father and daughter. Although now we hear like rumors about them not getting along, it really is nice to see this moment in time. I don't know, it's just nice. The episode is Don't Stop Till You Get the Phone. Miles is thrilled to own the latest O phone, which is, wow, real clever play on iPhone. But soon, a brand new Z phone is released. Oh my god, they skipped so many letters.
It makes the O phone old news.
Oh, Daddy, you saw that commercial!
Sparking her desire for an upgrade. When her dad, Robby Ray, refuses to buy it, Miley, as Hannah, tells her friend Tracy that she already has it, fearing social backlash if she's caught without the latest trend.
Oh, Hannah has a hissy. Thanks, kid.
Can't you people ever give me a break?
Sorry, kid, this picture's gonna pay for my new Z phone.
Miley and Lily hatch a scheme. So to raise money, they'll sell an embarrassing paparazzi picture of Hannah Montana to a tabloid. This is like the female version of Spider-Man, where she makes a living out of selling her own pictures. That's so weird.
That's cause it is posed.
See, that's the problem. We need to make it look more spontaneous, like you were taken by surprise. We need to, make it...
It's embarrassing, humiliating, demeaning.
I know, she looks like a complete idiot. He gets it.
However, they accidentally include a necklace in the photo with Miley's name on it, which could expose her secret identity. Realizing the danger, they strike a deal with the magazine.
The world's most popular movie stars, looking more ridiculous than your picture of Hannah Montana. You got a deal.
If they can get an embarrassing photo of the celebrity Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, they'll trade it for a Hannah picture. Determined to retrieve the Hannah photo, Miley and Lily sneak into The Rock's hotel room, posing as a complimentary beauty specialist.
You do not know how close you came to a hangnail, my little box office sensation.
Well, I'm gonna see my mom a little later, so I guess a quick buff wouldn't hurt. Maybe even a little clear coat.
Oh god. They have so many different outfit changes. It reminds me of That's So Raven. Like, how does Disney come up with so many excuses for these teens to dress up as separate identities and really confuse people in their world? I mean, it's working. It's working. Reluctantly, The Rock, actually the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, lets them in. And they proceed to give him a makeover, complete with lipstick, manicures, clip-on earrings, and curlers. Run!
Hey, what?
Just as they're about to sell the picture, Miley feels guilty, understanding the first-hand negative impact of paparazzi on people's lives. She apologizes to The Rock and shows him the picture. In a turn of events, The Rock helps Miley by confronting the magazine guy with a little intimidation, even holding him upside down until he returns the photo. Miley's relieved that he kept her secret safe.
I figured it was the right thing to do.
And meanwhile, in the humorous subplot, Jackson gets a serious sunburn after playing shirts versus skins in a volleyball match at the beach.
And did you remember to put on...
Underwear? Of course, I'm not an idiot.
I was gonna say sunscreen, but I'm glad to hear about the underwear.
And he struggles to hide his sunburn from Robby, which is really funny. Oh my gosh, another extremely interesting plot with Jackson. It reminds me of the scene in Drake and Josh where Drake pretends not to be ran over by the dune buggy and they make him fight his dad. But I guess it's just funny to watch Jackson and Robby do it in a non-rude way.
What you need is a good old-fashioned deep tissue massage from hands strengthened by years of steel guitar playing.
I love that we're seeing more into Hannah Montana's double life. Like, this is such a complex issue that only celebrities would deal with, but when you bring it to be about more of a teenager's struggle, then it becomes so much more relatable. And I love that Hannah Montana can do it like that. Especially since we didn't quite have technology there yet. This makes us feel like we know what it's like to be a celebrity more than we used to.
Sure hope nobody's lactose intolerant.
So the next episode is called That's What Friends Are For. The title is a nod to the song That's What Friends Are For by Diane Rorick, Stevie Wonder, Elton John, and Gladys Knight. Miley is taken aback when Jake tells her he wants to keep their relationship platonic. Oh my gosh, Jake, you are hot and cold.
You're not into me at all? Not even a little bit? I mean, come on, it's only been a couple of months. What are you, made of stone?
Leaving her to try to convince herself that she's okay with the just friends arrangement. But as her feelings of jealousy start to surface, Miley as Hannah tries to one-up her rival, Michaela, by getting her fired from her project.
The intergalactic alien babe that I'll be kissing for the next 8 weeks. Michaela!
What?
When the scheme backfires, Miley realizes she's the one acting out of character and confronts her own jealousy.
You're funny. Man, it's too bad you're not famous too. We could have been such good friends.
Miley ultimately decides to embrace a more supportive attitude, so she dresses in an alien costume, pretending to be Michaela, help her out in an attempt to put her jealousy behind her.
Wait, he's not out here. Huh, too bad.
See ya, sucker.
As Miley pretends to be Michaela, she starts insulting Jake to try to ruin their relationship.
I don't care if your mother was a rainbow trout.
Hold that thought. I gotta take this. No, I'm not busy. What's going on, girl?
Cut!
Michaela finally breaks free, fighting with Lily for a moment before she confronts Miley and she runs away. Later, Miley and Jake have a conversation where she shows that she really does respect his boundaries. It just took a really bad publicity stunt.
I was not jealous.
Oh, Miley.
Okay, fine, I was.
This act of goodwill marks a turning point for Miley, and she learns the importance of respecting others' relationships and personal space, even though she went as far to dress up as her. Oh my god, Miley, that is not appropriate. And another episode where they're dressing up as separate people. So it's not even like abnormal in this universe that Hannah Montana is also Miley Cyrus. It just seems like you could take on another identity. I wonder how many people cheat on their families with other families in the Hannah Montana universe. And then in the subplot, Rico challenges Oliver and Jackson to avoid showering or changing clothes for a week in exchange for a free month of hot dogs. Dang, these guys are like actual dogs, and Rico is just playing with them at this point.
Shower. Or changing your clothes until they turn my water back on.
Free hot dogs?
Oh, dude, you are so on.
They both take on the challenge, but Rico later reveals he had access to water the whole time, enjoying his role as the only sweet-smelling guy in the area, and then all the girls want to be around him. Jackson and Oliver's second episode together, after the jerky cheese episode, which is funny because these guys together are just hilarious. I feel like it's rare, but it's so fun when it happens. This is her last, but unfortunately this is Michaela's last appearance, which is so sad because I'm assuming it's because she's on Wizards of Waverly Place, but I would love to see this rivalry continue. But unfortunately, we have to put it to rest. And it's revealed in this episode that Jake actually has a trendy twin brother named Mason, adding an unexpected twist to his character's backstory. The next one is Lily's Mom Has a Got It Going On. The title is a nod to Stacy's Mom by Fountains of Wayne, which is a really good song. Check it out. After a PTA meeting, Miley and Lily notice a spark between Miley's dad, Robby Ray, and Lily's mom, Heather Truscott, played by Heather Locklear. Random.
Just me, or are they actually starting to like each other?
You mean like or like?
Excited about the prospect of becoming sisters, the girls scheme to set up their parents on a date, hoping it'll blossom into a romance and they'll be sisters.
True. After you, sis.
No, after you, sis.
Ooh, lipstick check.
However, the date turns into a disaster and both parents are not only not hitting it off, but they're really angry at each other.
What goofy thing did your dad do this time?
My dad? How do you know it was my dad's fault?
Have you met your dad?
Miley and Lily start blaming each other's parents for the failed outing, and tensions rise between them. Oh my gosh, a lot of Miley and Lily arguments. The girls ended up in a heated argument, feeling let down by the other's family.
Okay, what are you two arguing about this time? Did somebody forget their friendship week anniversary?
We don't have week anniversaries anymore because we are no longer friends.
Their hopes of becoming sisters crumbles and their friendship becomes strained. But then they end up attacking each other in front of the entire class, leaving Oliver in the middle of it once again.
This one's mine.
Eventually, Miley and Lily realize that they might have pushed too hard and reconcile, understanding that their families are better off as friends.
I'm being attacked by Ceratopia!
In a brief scene at the end, Miley transforms into Hannah, marking one of the few moments she appears as her alter ego in the episode. The episode reveals that Lily's mom knows Aunt Miley's secret identity as Hannah Montana. Heather Locklear is from all those old 80s movies, and it's just so funny. We're gonna end this section of the video with episode 20, I Will Always Loathe You. We get a return of both Aunt Dolly and Mama Ruthie as they arrive to see Hannah accept the music award. Ruthie and Dolly actually have a long-standing feud dating back to high school when apparently Dolly stole Elvis from her, sparking years of animosity.
Too bad Dolly isn't here to see what a real blonde looks like.
Mama?
The rivalry quickly reignites as Dolly comes downstairs and the two start hurling insults.
Pull your claws in, Miss Kitty. I'm just here to celebrate my goddaughter's big night.
And I am here to celebrate my granddaughter's big night. That is my granddaughter, my kinfolk, a blood relation.
I'm good. Rico's public access commercial, take 2. And action.
Heyo! My name is Rico, and...
Cut!
Miley and her dad Robby jump in to separate them before things get out of hand. The clash between Ruthie and Dolly gets progressively worse and outrageous. Ruthie actually makes digs at Dolly's appearances, calling her sparkly nails trampy. Using Dolly as an example, why would you use the word trampy in a Disney show? Lily and Miley attempt to show Dolly and Mama how ridiculous they're acting by reenacting their childhood.
He didn't choose you. You stole him, you big-haired, two-timing yakety yodeler. Well, I'd rather have big hair than a double-wide backside. Well, at least I don't have a triple-wide ego and a mouth to match.
And Jackson even joins in, dressed up as Elvis, and they try to hope it brings them back together, but surprise, it doesn't.
Don't be cruel. You gotta take all that anger and return to center, baby.
This is so catty. Things even get sneaky when Ruthie tries to buy Miley a more tasteful award show outfit, only for Dolly to vow to get Miley something that she would actually want to wear. Burn. At the final award show, Ruthie and Dolly promise to Miley that they'll be on their best behavior. And while Miley's on stage, they actually start arguing again about who's funnier.
Elvis thought I had a wonderful comic mind.
Oh, I know what Elvis was thinking about, and honey, trust me, it had nothing to do with your mind.
You take that back.
You make me.
Guys, come on. Bringing up memories of Elvis and pushing each other's buttons until they end up wrestling on the floor.
To stop what they're doing when I need them.
Miley's forced to intervene, pulling them apart and revealing their wigs. Humiliated and angry, Miley tells them that she may never forgive them, and at home, her father advises her to think it over. Miley inevitably apologizes for being so harsh, which is justified this time. Miley, you're not being a bad person. They're being nuts. And the two women decide to make amends, agreeing that their behavior was incorrect. In the subplot, which consists of a total of 2 full scenes, we have Rico trying to make a commercial for Rico's.
My name is Rico, and...
Cut!
He's not so great at it, so in the end, he hires somebody to replace him.
You kidding? He could be your brother.
I am his brother. Now that's a Rico.
And that's about all that happens there. They all share a heartfelt group hug, and the episode wraps on Miley, Dolly, Ruthie, and Robby singing True Friend together. It's fun to watch adults in arguments, and also watching Miley have to be the bigger person is really funny. It really shows the cycle of miscommunication. Like, Miley and Lily have been the ones having these arguments, but having it be like 2 supporting characters in an argument and the central characters to the show are actually just maneuvering what's going on is very interesting, because Miley gets to actually reflect on her own relationships as she sees these grown women fighting over this. Okay, so now that we've covered all the episodes, it's the perfect time to go through our menu of guest stars. So if you're a fan of Hannah Montana, you'll probably notice that this specific batch of episodes feels almost like Celebrity Central, and that's not a coincidence. I call this the most guest star heavy chunk of the series, and there's like a good reason why. Disney Channel was leaning into its power to pull in big names from all around the world and pop culture. Guest stars become a way of keeping the series exciting, offering fans these wow moments and blending Miley's 2 worlds in an unpredictable way, and it's just so meta that it crosses with the real world in the way it does. Plus, this was Disney's golden era, where the biggest stars could easily jump from show to show, creating the massive crossover that made fans feel like they were part of one big interconnected universe. These cameos and crossovers really helped Hannah Montana feel larger than life, building on the idea that Miley's double life isn't just about juggling 2 identities, it's about mingling with some of the biggest names of all time. So as we get into episodes 11 to 20, keep an eye out for those star-studded appearances, because each one brings something unique to the story, and it's really interesting. It's funny to think that Dolly was played by Dolly Parton. I mean, she was in the first season and she's back, but I just want to note that she's the country music legend known for Jolene and 9 to 5, and for her iconic career as a singer, songwriter, actress, and philanthropist. Her character Aunt Dolly plays Miley's fun-loving, glamorous godmother who knows Miley's double life as Hannah Montana and supports her. Aunt Dolly's warmth and musical talent add to Miley's support system, reminding her of her roots. Dolly Parton's status as beloved music icon adds the depth to her role, making her the perfect mentor for Miley. Although I wish if she was a mentor, she would come up in more episodes, because it's such an interesting premise to think that she has a female mentor. Like, I would love to see dynamics like that instead of just Miley and her father or her friends. And Dolly's presence also highlights the importance of family and the country values in Miley's life. Okay, well then why aren't you in the movie? Vicki Lawrence is an acclaimed comedian and actress, and she's best known for The Carol Burnett Show, and she was the lead in Mama's Family, which is an old sitcom. Mama Ruthie is Miley's tough, outspoken grandmother, fiercely overprotective, and often clashing with Aunt Dolly. Her no-nonsense attitude and southern charm make her the most memorable and sometimes overbearing figure in Miley's life. Vicki Lawrence's comedic skills shine in her portrayal of Mama Ruthie, bringing back the balance of humor and tough love to Miley's family dynamic. Her character helps keep Miley grounded, representing the traditional values and family support that Miley can count on through the up and downs of fame. You know, these characters seem so alike, and I love that we could see them argue as Aunt Dolly is talking about fame and the other one represents country values. Seeing them argue is just so interesting. I wish they were in the movie. And then of course, we can't not talk about Selena Gomez as Michaela. She gained popularity as a Disney star, starting off on Barney and Friends, and became widely known for her lead role in Wizards. She's also a successful singer, producer, and she sings like Come and Get It and Bad Liar. And she plays the character Michaela, who's Hannah's rival, another young pop star who is seemingly sweet on the surface, but competitive and envious of Hannah's success. Kind of reminds me of Sabrina Carpenter. Miley often finds herself clashing with Michaela as they vie for the spotlight. Selena Gomez's role adds a realistic layer to the show, portraying the competitive nature of the music industry. Her presence adds dramatic tension, illustrating Miley's struggle with jealousy and insecurity while staying true to herself. Oh, and then of course we got Jesse McCartney as himself. Jesse McCartney is a pop star singer. I don't know, he's an actor. For the early 2000s hits like Beautiful Soul, and for voicing characters in animated series like Theodore in Alvin and the Chipmunks, and Roxas in Kingdom Hearts. In Hannah Montana, he plays himself and becomes Miley's love interest after meeting backstage at a concert. Miley's thrilled to connect with him, though she quickly realizes the challenges of balancing fame and her personal life, which is always a fun episode. His cameo brings an extra spark of celebrity excitement to the show, with his real-life fame underscoring Miley's challenges with relationships as a young celebrity. And now that we have somebody outside of Jake Ryan, which, okay, Miley, you're just dating blonde guys, I see why you're choosing to be blonde, their encounter represents Miley's desire for normalcy despite her fame. And I love that it's always doomed, because it's like, of course that will never work out. Like, she wants a normal situation from an abnormal person. It's such an interesting relationship. Like, you know how like teenagers want what they can't have, or you want somebody that you know is bad for you? Miley craves what she really wanted growing up, normalcy, in other people, like the celebrities in her life. That's why she's probably attracted to more celebrities than she is necessarily people in her school. But I don't know, she is attracted to people in her school. I don't really know. The Jonas Brothers, of course, as themselves, they skyrocketed to fame as a famous pop rock band under Disney's Hollywood Records with SOS, Burnin' Up, and later coming back again with Sucker. They become the Disney Channel regulars with their own show, Jonas, and movies like Camp Rock. The Jonas Brothers play themselves and share an admiration for Robby Ray's songwriting talents. Their friendship with Robby causes Miley to feel left out, sparking her jealousy and eventually leading to a comical misunderstanding that she has to clear up. Jonas Brothers cameo is one of the show's most memorables, bringing a real-life pop idol into Miley's world. Their presence highlights the competitive and collaborative aspects of show business, kind of like Michaela. And their friendship with Miley emphasizes her need to balance relationships and the pressures of fame. And then Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as himself. Okay, so he's The Rock, a global superstar known for his wrestling career in WWE and being an actor in Fast and the Furious, Jumanji, and more. He plays himself in a humorous episode where Miley and Lily attempt to get an embarrassing picture of him, add humor to Miley's dilemma, while the willingness to help her recover from a secret photo shows his softer, supportive side, which is really cute. I love to see celebrities caring for each other. It makes me think of not reality. This episode reflects Miley's struggle with the paparazzi and her decision to prioritize integrity over deception. And then we have Heather Locklear, Heather Truscott, Lily's mom. So she's well known from the 80s and 90s TV and famous for Melrose Place, Dynasty, and Spin City. She plays Lily's mom, who briefly sparks a romantic interest in Robby Ray, much to Lily and Miley's excitement, and the date doesn't go well, and that's the episode. Her role as Lily's mom brings in deepening Lily and Miley's friendship and testing it through family dynamics. Heather's role emphasizes the show's themes of friendship and family while adding a fresh parental perspective to the series. I never thought about this too much until this episode, but having Heather Locklear be such a masculine mom, attracting Robby Ray, really shows where Lily gets her more masculine traits, like wanting to be a skateboarder and not necessarily knowing what it's like to be too girly. It's really cool to see where that's coming from. I struggle between loving the guest star episodes and not at all, because I hate that these characters, since they're so famous, they don't really come back. How much more story-driven would it be if... I mean, we get to see Aunt Dolly and Ruthie Stewart a bunch more times, but it is still, like, very rare. And I would love to see that be more of a common occurrence. Same with Selena Gomez. Like, why does she have a enemy that, like, comes twice and then never again? It doesn't develop a strong enough relationship to feel like there's an issue. And I would love it if Selena Gomez wasn't so famous, or it wasn't her playing Michaela, to have seen Michaela come back often. You know, like, they could easily make these episodes about characters that they intend on keeping, or current characters, to make it more interesting. Although, there is an exception with the Lily's mom episode. It's cool to see Lily and Miley argue about something that's a little bit different than the last couple times they've argued, like the Cuffs episode, the Judge episode. They argue a lot in this season, but I guess it is nice and fresh to see her mom once, because her mom wouldn't be a character that would be common on the show anyway, although I would love to have seen her more than once. Then the Jonas Brothers also, it's like, that's so cool that they have like this friendship with Robby Ray. Like, why can't that be ongoing and come back later? It seems like that they're waiting to invent new plot lines for the episodes, when really they have developed characters that could keep coming back. There's also the positives where it's like, okay, you add the real celebrities and you have a better understanding of Hannah Montana's world. Like, she is slightly connected to the real world. But I would still give that up for a little bit more character development in this series. Overall, amazing chunk of episodes. I forgot how much I loved seeing all of these. Every one of these episodes I could vividly remember the commercial for it, the promo, all the guest stars, just because there were so many guests to see in this chunk of episodes. But we also have the most underrated guest star. So underrated that she's actually guest starred way too many times for either of us to remember. That's right, we have not paid enough attention to the most hilarious and infamous detail in Hannah Montana.
Oh, no, she didn't.
Oh, yes, she did. She bamboozled us both.
Yeah, well, your bam is easy to boozle. You still don't know I sneak over to your house and use your hot tub on the weekends. Enough of this chit-chat. Let's find that girl.
Roxy. Roxy had a couple appearances in season 1 just being really erratic and intense and overprotective, which is really funny because since Miley doesn't have a mom in her life, this is like another female figure that is actually reoccurring, that unlike the guest stars in this season, don't just come for a couple episodes. Roxy has been in a bunch of episodes in season 1 and even more episodes this season in season 2. She's Miley's guardian angel. Roxy is like the hidden gem of this series. She offers protection to Miley and isn't afraid to keep Miley in her place when she's acting a little bit egotistical. She's on the plane with Miley when Miley's running away, offering her the insight to trust her father a little bit more. And I wish she played a more active role in the paparazzi episode, because being Hannah's bodyguard, I feel like taking the picture and that whole plot would have been a little bit more helpful to reflect on. But so far, adding Roxy a lot more often in the series is really making the show a lot better. I feel like this is the season she's actually in the most too, which is why she shouldn't go underrated. As we start to see less and less of her, I get sadder and sadder. But it's important to acknowledge how important she is to the show. I love seeing her. With that said, we say goodbye to a lot of recurring characters as the show continues, so let's take a moment of memorial. And that wraps up 11 through 20 of Hannah Montana Season 2. Wow, these episodes, do you guys see why I'm talking about this as the Celebrity Central? Because they are just packed. The series doesn't even do something this intense again. It's just this one specific chunk of episodes. These episodes really dig into fame and glamour and the negatives. Miley's relationship with her family and friends were constantly tested and reminds her that things are only going to get harder the more she grows up. So what's next? As we head into the final episodes of season 2, we'll start to see the stakes continue to rise as Miley and Jackson's sibling rivalry will start to come to a head, and even one stuffed bear will lead to the season's biggest family feuds. Oh, and then also we can't forget about Uncle Earl. Yeah, Uncle Earl is going to be coming up. So make sure you guys tune in when we get to the next section of the Hannah Montana season 2 franchise.
We had a contract and it is legally binding. If I get home and your bedroom is not clean, you can forget about allowance. Oh, okay, bye-bye.